Who wins the South this season?
Well, I think the Jags still win it. Why? Because, look, they have a tried-and-true formula that I know as much as this league has become about spreading them out, airing it out, well, the Jags still know how to play well within their means in terms of how they are built, which is they are built defense first, run the ball second, throw the ball last. You don't want, and until they have someone else playing the quarterback position, that's the way they're going to have to play it. And it's good enough to get them to the AFC Championship game, I believe, again. It's just a matter of this. Look, when they needed Blake to make some plays, he wasn't able to make the plays, and the defense wasn't able to come up with some key stops and make some plays in order to offset what he can't give them. But I still think, look, as far as winning the division, they're going to win the division. The Jacksonville Jaguars are beyond just trying to win divisions, though. They're trying to win conference championships. So, look, Andrew Luck doesn't have enough help, and I still have some questions about Andrew. Deshaun Watson's coming off an injury. This is a football team that was riddled with injuries, the Houston Texans. So, and the Tennessee Titans, I still think they're a couple years away from really being, division challengers. So I think this is Jacksonville's to take easily.
If Deshaun Watson's healthy, I like the Texans. I think that he is. In this preseason, the two quarterbacks I saw, I was like, oh. Jimmy G and Deshaun Watson especially, like in the limited, I was like, oh, okay, that looks like the Deshaun Watson from last year. He's just a little bit different. The way I was talking about Carson Wentz the other day, that guy's a little different. And Jalen Ramsey singled those two out, right? Like Wentz and Watson, there's a reason for that. You can see it. And they have ridiculous talent on the defense.
Oh, yeah.
And they have talent at the skills position. And but it all comes to that. Deshaun Watson's health. If Deshaun Watson's not healthy, clearly it's the Jags. Maybe it's even the Jags if he is healthy. But I believe in Deshaun Watson. If healthy, they win.
They got J.J. Watt back.
Let me chime in.
Oh, I got you.
All
right.
I totally disagree with you. And I agree with Lewis about the Jacksonville Jaguars because, again, they want to grind you down. They had 55 sacks last year, second in the league. We know their defense is big time, top notch. Not to mention the fact that they know their limitations. They want to ground and pound and beat you up, and Leonard Fournette is made for that. Okay, so we got that going on because that kind of stuff facilitates the defense because they wear you down, they keep the opposition on the sideline. That's going to help.
They're built consistently.
Keep them straight.
Yeah.
So, that's Tom Coughlin, Doug Maroney right there. But then with Houston, here's what I don't like. Previous 3 years, J.J. Watt was in there. You're talking about a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. I think they were like 12th, 10th, and like 6th defensively. This dude goes out because of his back. They fall a dead last. Now, it's the NFL. I understand that J.J. Watt is big time. I understand that he's the best outside of Aaron Donald. I get all that. But damn, one guy.
Tells you how good he is.
No. I don't care how good I don't care how great you are. I'm talking about, I didn't sit up there and say I expect them to be the same, Max. I wouldn't expect the Giants to be the same without Lawrence Taylor, but to go from 12th, 10th, and 6th.
Let me burst your bubble.
12th, 10th, and 6th to dead last.
Let me burst your bubble.
I got a problem with that.
Let me jump in here real quick. I just want to burst his bubble with one example.
Sure.
Year before last, I looked at the Eagles. I thought that they were trending toward elite before Lane Johnson got hit with the PED suspension.
Right.
He sat. That was a tipping point on the offensive line. They couldn't win. They didn't win a game. He comes back. There they are, elite again. And last year they won the Super Bowl. Sometimes a player's not just good. He's a tipping point on his unit.
I disagree with you, Max.
The two quarterbacks. We're talking Blake Bortles versus Deshaun Watson. We're talking DeAndre Hopkins versus who's Bortles throwing to.
What is your point?
That the Houston Texans are going to be way better.
Well, no, what I'm saying.
You know what? Here's the other thing that hurt the Houston Texans too. Now, remember, it wasn't just about Watt last year. They lost Whitney Merciless.
Right. He's back. He's back.
So there's a lot of factors right now that better line. Those guys better stay healthy.
Right.
Because all these guys are dealing with injuries. This has been one of those teams that can't keep its best players on the field.
Okay, but what I'm going to go back to you, and I'll address her point as well. Again, I'm saying to you 12th, 10th, and 6th to dead last. I understand a drop-off, but to drop off to the bottom, that's a bit extreme. That's A. B, when we're talking about the quarterbacks, Molly, I get where you're coming from, but what we're looking at is a Jacksonville defense. When we talk, as good as A.J. Bouye is, as good as Jalen Ramsey is, etc. When we talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, we say their defense. We don't talk about one or two guys. We talk about a collection of individuals.
But you didn't address the Lane Johnson point is sometimes a unit has a tipping point player. Yeah. That is J.J. Watt, not just leadership.
But Lane Johnson was your protector of the quarterback.
And J.J. Watt is the killer of the quarterback.
Davian Clowney and Whitney Merciless
there were some other things that contributed. Look, it's Jacksonville's division.